Hi, my name is Carson Struck, and this is my Learning Manifesto. So let's get into it. I'm going to talk about my passion. So, whether it's in education or everyday life, I want others to succeed. My Learning Manifesto focuses on assisting others in their education through means of technology so they can be efficient in their development. I just want to briefly go over the points that support my passion here. So, the understanding of why. So, once you know why you've chosen to do something, that can give you the motivation to move forward and succeed in learning that topic. And the correct usage of technology can either help or hinder your progress depending on how you use it. And lastly, the value of efficiency. So, there's no need to waste time on work that doesn't move your plan forward. And this rings a bell with me as I have a film degree, and we always say, don't shoot a scene that doesn't move the story forward. And that can really just pertain to anything in life. It's not if it's not going to move your plan forward with whatever you're doing, it's really not worth doing because you have a goal, and anything that doesn't move it forward is basically just kind of an obstacle. Emerging issues in digital learning. So there's a gap in knowledge between teachers and students when it comes to digital learning and technology because the current generation is raised on technology, but each sequential generation is having to catch up. Our teachers, no matter the age between 20 and 50 or 60 or however old the teacher is, we're not going to know as much about technology because we are living in an age where technology is so prevalent and accessible. Your economic status doesn't really matter anymore because there's affordable technology for your child to develop with. And teachers are expected to teach children in a way in which they were not taught. So they don't want us to teach the way that we were taught. They want us to be innovative. And that is a very difficult thing to do. We're kind of juggling a lot of things that we have to learn. We have to be innovative and we have to learn this technology because they want us to teach with it. Double duty is often a reality for teachers, having to do multiple things. We're having to learn the subject that we're teaching, learn the way it's being taught, using new tools that we aren't familiar with, and trying to innovate the way things are being taught. I have this quote here by Ignacio Estrada. If a child can't learn the way that we teach, maybe we should teach the way they learn. And I really like this quote because it perfectly explains the way we should be teaching. And as a student, it's perfect. And as a teacher, it's scary. Another emerging issue is consistency. So Woolley Wilson talks about zip codes and how they're not containing consistent quality in education. So depending on your zip code and where you go to school, you may not be getting the same education as your friends just literally right down the road. Whether it be a factor of poverty or an education system's unwillingness to adopt technology, this can negatively impact students' educational experiences and cause inconsistencies from school to school. And this is an incomplete quote that I got from Jessie Woolley Wilson in her TED Talk. It seems to me we have a choice. We can load up our minivan and take all kids to the best neighborhoods with the best teachers and the best education, or we can figure out a way to make zip code irrelevant. That is what the goal of digital learning is, to create equal opportunity for every student. All right, so let's talk about our education system. Testing. So, the standardized test doesn't measure a student's intelligence, but instead measures their ability to memorize content. Now, what's wrong with this is, are the students actually learning? Or are they just cramming content into their short-term memory and then regurgitating it onto pieces of paper so they can pass the class? So this is our country's way of democratizing our education system by testing children on information that may or may not be relevant to their learning. And like I said before, why waste your time doing something if it doesn't move your plan forward? And this just really goes to show that they want to have a generalized way of teaching, but what we really need is individualized learning programs for each student. Now, some students are falling behind and some are struggling to catch up using this one-size-fits-all method of testing. So, how can we fix this? So here's a quote from Benjamin Franklin. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. But involve me and I learn. Digital learning and involvement. This is an overall better way to democratize our education system because it takes the individualized student and offers them their preferred method of learning. Because there are so many options when digital learning is involved, we're able to leverage that technology to create a significant learning environment. Now, this will help some students feel included, even if there are other students at different learning levels in the same classroom, regardless of age and knowledge. So, Ethan Dickens, in his TED Talk, talked about up to date information. And this is provided by digital learning because when you're given a textbook that's sometimes 4 to 5, I know I was given textbooks that were sometimes 10, 20 years old that the teacher still found relevant. It's just hard to believe that. And in this day and age where we have so much technology and things are getting updated constantly, it's just hard to believe that I'm getting the best education out there. Now, all of this kind of boils down to one word, and that is opportunity. My core beliefs. So basically, all of my core beliefs can boil down into this one concept: a support system. Technology is not a replacement for a teacher, but is merely there to support their teaching. Technology is not going to steal your job or do your job for you. Now, this can give the teacher multiple tools to leverage their teaching to adapt to the student's mode of learning. Again, that reminds me of Ignacio's quote: if a child cannot learn the way we teach, then maybe we should teach the way that they learn. So technology is also meant to increase the velocity in which the student learns. The last thing I want to say about my core beliefs is I believe that students should be comfortable in their learning. Now, I believe that digital learning is going to get us there. Here's a quote from Margaret Mead: children must be taught how to think, not what to think. And that's what digital learning is all about. It's not meant for the students to memorize things so they can regurgitate them. It's not meant for them to take tests. It's meant for them to learn skills and adopt new concepts. And here are my references in APA format. My name is Carson Struck, and this is my Learning Manifesto. Thanks for watching.